Have you ever been daydreaming and suddenly been struck by the thought, wouldn't it be absolutely awesome to have a pet dinosaur? Like, you know, Chris Pratt's character in Jurassic World, his best friend is a velociraptor named Blue. And let's face it, we're all kinda jealous, right? But well, thankfully for us, the fictional world of that mysterious place, known only as the SCP Foundation, has a particular entry that may make you think twice about what you wish for. And in many ways, man's best friend being a creature from the land before time may not be exactly as you have imagined. Hello internet, what's going on? And once again, welcome back to the most inquisitive channel on YouTube, Life's Biggest Questions. As per usual, I'll be your disembodied floating voice Jack Finch, as today we curiously ask the question, what if SCP-3934 was real?
Yeah. You know me. That's right. That's right.
And I bet you're glad that we didn't play the rest of that clip. But for the curious amongst you, that clip was from, of course, Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, again because, you know, this video is about dinosaurs and I'm a stickler for immersion. Also, it's important to note that if you're expecting the mysteries of SCP-3934 to be harboring a species of some highly intelligent raptor, you may in fact be sorely disappointed, because these particular reptiles are a little bit more docile, I suppose. As the record states, SCP-3934 are a species of amphibious reptiles that were produced via anomalous means by a shadowy and mysterious organization known as Marshall, Carter and Dark. If you're familiar with the wider universe of the SCP Foundation, then you'll all know that Marshall, Carter and Dark are a particular breed of anomalous merchants that act almost like a secretive global corporation, acquiring and selling anomalous objects and relics across the globe and then auctioning them off to particularly wealthy families with an interest in the arcane and the occult. In the Foundation's universe, they're one of the most powerful organizations going, and their only directive is to maintain their all-powerful influence and economic grasp on the planet. Essentially, if you rolled up all of the conspiracy theories on Earth throughout history, these guys would inevitably be responsible, and they've made more money than most governments in the process. The thing is though, particularly in the case of SCP-3934, this was one of the rare instances where instead of trading and acquiring anomalous entities, Marshall, Carter and Dark tried their hand at creating them. In fact, the first instance of 3934 known to the Foundation occurred on September 19th, 1951, after being discovered in the home of a man named Joseph Caldwell, a noted British financier and philanthropist and a known customer of MC&D. You see, the Foundation liked to keep tabs on who the anomalous merchants were selling to, and subsequently planned a raid on his property whilst he was away on business. Here they discovered the first known instance of 3934, and at first sight they were shocked to discover a creature resembling the Loch Ness Monster living in Joseph Caldwell's garden pond. You see, whilst the exact process of how these creatures were created is unknown, the intention of Marshall, Carter and Dark had already been made very clear. They were created with the purpose of being sold as exotic pets to wealthy clients, and were designed to resemble the otherwise gentle, herbivorous plesiosaurs of the Jurassic period. Strangely enough, they were also genetically engineered to exhibit the behavioural patterns of canines, Labrador retrievers in particular, because after all, if they weren't the goodest of boys, having a dinosaur on your hands isn't exactly the easiest of responsibilities, and selling them off to the highest bidder would have been even harder. Following the creation of 3934, Marshall, Carter and Dark began using viral marketing techniques to fabricate a demand for their newly created Jurassic specimens, the most notable being the infamous 1934 surgeon's photo, which they purposefully leaked to the press. And for those of you that don't know, the surgeon's photo is otherwise known as the image that started the legend of the Loch Ness Monster, which is quite an interesting thought, isn't it? Because in this hypothetical situation where SCP-3934 are very much real, in all likelihood that's exactly what would have happened. Because here's the question really, which links on back to our opening statement. What would you do with a pet dinosaur? Now, of course, Marshall, Carter and Dark quickly came to the realization that having access to just any type of dinosaur as a pet would be a ridiculous idea. I mean, you can pretty much scrap any of the carnivorous species unless you're some evil Bond villainous character who has an appetite for doing things the difficult way, but a smaller version of the Plesiosaurus is probably the most ideal prehistoric candidate, if not the most reasonable in this hypothetical scenario. Yeah, granted, you'd probably love your new dinosaur pet with all your heart. That's if you could afford it anyway. You'd play fetch with it, you'd pat it on the head, you'd take it for walks, probably somewhere in the Scottish Highlands where an innocent bystander would faint at the sight of your new best friend. But here's where the reality of this hypothetical situation quickly comes tumbling down, as the vast majority of MC&D's clients quickly found out. Although it may sound like an awesome life experience and the dream of all budding paleontologists the world over, the effort required to care for a pet dinosaur far exceeds the anomalous status that it comes with. And this is where things also get a little bit sad. Due to their size and their altered biology, SCP-3934 required a highly specialized diet, given the fact that they're, dinosaurs, and need an incredibly specific marine habitat that comprised of at least 1 million liters in volume. Could you afford that? If so, then no worries, you'll be the fantastic new owner of a friendly plesiosaur, and a fruitful relationship of love and affection awaits you. But for those of you that can't afford the small fortune of owning a miniature dinosaur, the stark reality of SCP-3934 is that the vast majority of the anomalous species died out or were straight up abandoned by their owners within 2 years of purchase. The thought of abandoning any pet on the roadside is heartbreaking enough, but you can't exactly do the same thing with a plesiosaur. Can you? As the record states, abandoned instances of SCP-3934 react with an uncharacteristic violence towards humans and other mammals, given the fact that they were bred to be loved with the same kind of affection that the goodest boys expect. In many cases, the abandoned plesiosaurs ended up feral, turning to carnivorous predation and unwittingly destroying entire ecosystems to no fault of their own. Yeah, I guess in this case the old saying really is true. A plesiosaur is for life, not just for Christmas. And if we've learned anything from Jurassic Park, keeping any kind of Mesozoic reptiles in a cage habitat can only result in a catastrophic chain of very bad things. Because after all, despite all of the odds, life does find a way. And also, if you get attacked by a feral instance of SCP-3934, don't blame the poor plesiosaur, blame the rich idiot that thought buying a dinosaur would be a damn good idea. Well, there we have it, our long and short cautionary rundown of SCP-3934, or as I like to call it, an idiot-proof guide to owning a pet dinosaur. What do you guys think? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Or would you just rather tell us what you do with your own pet dinosaur, despite all of our very clear instructions? Then why don't you let us know your thoughts down in the comment section below, as well as any interesting insights into what you'd like to add. Before we depart from today's video, let's first take a quick look at some of your more resounding remarks from over the past few days. In all capital bold letters, Nightshade says, "Love your narration, Jack." Well, thank you, Nightshade. I love your style. Dr. Lancer says, "If you believe in yourself and work with joy, passion and patience, you can live your dream. No matter what that dream looks like, it can be yours. Have a nice day, everyone." Wow, Dr. Lancer, wow. I feel incredibly emotional right now. Thank you for that, and I hope that you too have a nice day, and many more nice days after that. Well, on that emotionally astute note, unfortunately that's what we've got time for in today's video. Just stick around all the way until the end. If you were a fan of this video, or just life's biggest questions in general, then please be a dear and hit that thumbs up button, as well as that subscribe bell. As per usual, I've been your disembodied floating voice, Jack Finch. You've been watching Life's Biggest Questions, and until next time, you take it easy.